sorry, in my excitement. Oh, I just came to know that today is International Women Physicians Day. That's kudos to women physicians.
Yes.
I didn't even know it before. So uh, today I welcome you all, and I thank you very much for your support for my business as well as this program. I'm a physician and I practiced in this country 35 years internal medicine. Before that, I was an academician. And 22 years ago, I included functional medicine into my practice and I had very good results. 3 years ago, the science changes. I was introduced to this new company by Bob and April, and I had an moment. I have arthritis in several parts of my body, but 3 years ago, when I started taking the product, 7 months later, my pain disappeared from my right shoulder joint. That was great, and I did very good. But 2 months ago, I had flare up of the inflammation in both my shoulder joints. And it does happen. It's not that you expect it. So I went to the shoulder specialist and he said, I have to have a shoulder replacement, right shoulder replacement. I decided I'm not going to have it. I was ready to go for an injection in the right shoulder. But I came home and doubled up my little yellow pill, which I started 3 years ago. And lo and behold, 4 days, fourth day, my pain totally disappeared. This was a haha moment for me because night I could not sleep. I was following Tylenol every 6 hours for a week. And this was a real eye opener because I was still having inflammation and I had to get rid of my inflammation. And this helped me. And I decided I have to tell everybody my story and I have to share with everyone. And April and Bob are my mentors, my friends for 22 years. So I would ask them to take over from now onwards. I welcome you all.
Oh, thanks, Jaya. You're a dear friend to us too. We're kind of like our mom too. So you hold a very special place, but I'm so glad you're all here. And if you're not muted, if you could stay muted so we can have a clean recording. But, I get the honor of sharing a discovery that really is a fascinating discovery. Especially, Bobby and I have been in this industry now for 28 years. And we were 25 years with one company, but about 3 years ago, we found this discovery that, was just remarkable in itself. And I'm going to explain a little bit of that, but so fascinating in the fact that, we'd been in the industry for 25 years. We'd worked with tons of physicians. I don't even know how many physicians made millions in the industry and had not heard of it until about 3 years ago. So I know you're going to love this as much as I am. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is, supplements versus activation. And you may be familiar with supplements. If you're not, again, supplements, we consider anything to be maybe that multivitamin you take, any kind of direct antioxidants. That's generally what we classify as supplement. But there's a new class out there called activation. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And it's super, super exciting. And we hear testimonies just like Dr. Kasturi's testimonies all the time. Amazing testimonies with this. And so what happened is LifeVantage, which is our company, began in a lab with a simple question. And it asks, is declining health what we must accept as getting older? Now, for me, I have a very vivid picture of this. I remember, when we were newly married, Bobby's grandmother had passed away. She sat down in a chair, folded her hands, and she just passed. And she had no known diseases to us, no sickness, nothing. On the contrast, my grandmother, many years in, not only poor health, but nursing home and a lot of decline in health to where she really had no quality of life. And, we know today that the average person lives to about 78 years old. So that's the lifespan. But what we're starting to talk about more importantly, and I don't know if you have a picture of what the end of your life is going to look like, but we start to talk more about health span. And health span on an average here in the United States is age 66. So that's 12 years of declining health that we have that, you know, is not good quality lifestyle for us. And so, you know, that's why this becomes of a lot of interest to us. But what happened back in the 1960s is this doctor actually discovered that at a cellular level, we have antioxidants at each cell. And this was big discovery back then. In fact, it was so big, he was awarded the Elliott Crescent Award. And if you're not familiar with that, that's a award that the likes of like the Wright brothers, Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, very, very famous discoveries of what people have made, got this award. And so he got it for actually figuring out that we have antioxidants at a cellular level that can keep our body healthy. The only downside to that was at some point, these antioxidants stopped producing. You know, they're just not there to help us anymore. And so decades later came discovery number 2 of his. And he actually discovered a way that we can turn all those cells back on so that they start reproducing these antioxidants and we can be that much healthier. And so this is a huge, huge discovery that we're going to talk about. But you know, it's called NRF2, and we call it NRF2 activation. That is the aging pathway that we're talking about right now. And he discovered that we can flip the switch on this activation. And we now have the power to turn on our good genes, turn off our bad genes, to the point that we are really only stuck with about 20% of the genes of our parents. And so you always said, you know, if your mother had this, you were going to have that. If your father had that, you were going to have this. Not necessarily true anymore. You know, through lifestyle, activation, exercise, you know, we have a lot more control of those genes. And I have to go over a little bit of a science term for you. It's called oxidative stress. And you can see the cell there. But what happens over time, as we have more free radicals, our body is producing less antioxidants, we have a term what's called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is simply the rusting of our cells. You know, I'm originally from New York. If you left the garden hose out over the winter and tried to use it in the spring, it would pop a hole. That's oxidative stress. Anytime we exercise, create more free radicals, that's oxidative stress. But that comes from microwaves, the environment, pesticides, water, all day long, just breathing. We are creating this oxidative stress and therefore causing more disease to our bodies. And so luckily, this is the second discovery that this doctor came out with, and it's called Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And what it does is it decreases oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And so this is huge. It also activates our bodies to create 1,000,000 times per second the antioxidant value. And if you're familiar with the term glutathione, that's our master antioxidant. In fact, there are many medical spas that give intravenous and try to supplement it in any way they can to boost that master antioxidant. We can actually increase it with this one little pill by 300%. And this is all backed by science, and I'll get to that. Because this is so exciting, we had to be extra careful. Every large pharmaceutical company, you know, nutraceutical company, any kind of company out there was going to want to chase this product and has been chasing it for a while. So we now have 13 patents on this that protect this formulation to just our company. But you're saying, you're looking at the plant-based ingredients. There's 5 plant-based ingredients that make up Protandim. And you're thinking, you know, I already take turmeric and maybe I already take milk thistle and, you know, I'll just go out and buy the other 3. Well, you can see based on the chart there that taking each one individually gives you a little, and I do mean a little bit of protection. Add them all together as a mad scientist yourself, which means you're taking a lot of different pills at this point, you get a little bit more. But when you use this one pill, this synergistic effect, this very special recipe that this doctor created, we get 1,800% better results, 1,800%. So, you know, definitely onto something so much that, you know, when we realize what we need to take in order to get the same value as the 1,000,000 times per second that this Protandim is expressing, we would need to eat 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 tablets of vitamin C, and then 87 glasses of wine. And while some of that might be, you know, interesting to you, this needs to be done on a daily basis. It just cannot be done. But something even bigger goes on, and this is super cool. The longer that we are on Protandim, month after month, we get enhanced results. so far that we can actually reverse it back to where we have the blood at the level of an age of a 20-year-old. So if you're 60 and you're on Protandim for 6 months, we have a 40-year-old who's on Protandim for 4 months, and we have a 20-year-old. If we took each of those people's blood, we could not tell whose blood was that originally of the 20-year-old. So super exciting there. So exciting that a lot of large medical universities continue to test on our product and continue to test on oxidative stress, because this was a huge, again, discovery. Nothing like it has since come out. But there are over 230,000 studies on PubMed. If you're not familiar with PubMed, and I know we have quite a few doctors on here, but if you're not familiar with PubMed and you're a layperson like me and did not know anything about it, PubMed is kind of a site where anybody can go, but typically doctors would go to find out ingredients and interactions and cautions and warnings with pharmaceutical drugs. In order to have a product on PubMed, it has to have a peer-reviewed study. Well, we have 26 peer-reviewed studies, and a peer-reviewed study was done by one large university, and other doctors have to confer with the same results. So it's not just somebody's opinion, it's a bunch of opinions. And we have so many large universities like Washington State, Colorado State, Florida State, but Washington State had a very interesting thing to say, and this is a great quote, and I use this quite a bit. It said the health effects of NRF2, remember we're using the NRF2 pathway, may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And they went on to liken it to things like penicillin, aspirin, and more recently, stem cells. So real exciting stuff. So exciting that our company, super smart, they not only have us taking that one little yellow pill on the inside, but we now have this NRF2 activation in hair care and skin care. So we have it on the inside and the outside doing double duty. But one step further, and you may not know this, depending on what shampoo or conditioner or skincare you're using, a lot of them, and I do mean a lot of them, have some really harmful bad things in them. So this is a really cool app you can download on your phone called Think Dirty. And you take whatever shampoo it is you have in your shower, and you go to the app on Think Dirty, and you put the name in, maybe Head and Shoulders or whatever you want to put in. Put the name in, not to kill any one brand, but you put a name of the shampoo in, and it'll rate that shampoo on a scale of 0 to 10. The cool thing is our products, the worst is 3, most all come in at 1 or 2, and a couple are 0. They have nothing in it that is harmful for you. It is actually good for you. So super, super exciting. The second theory of aging that we deal with is that of mitochondria. And this really is just, all the energy we need at a cellular level. You may remember ATP from biology in school. We need that energy to keep ourselves healthy and actually, just repair themselves and reproduce. And what happens is, over time, we greatly diminish our mitochondria. In fact, they say by the time we're about middle age, we've already, drastically cut in half the amount of mitochondria that we have at a cellular level. So our body doesn't have that energy it needs. And, maybe you've heard the term, it's downhill after age 40. That has a lot to do with the decreased amount of mitochondria. But we have now figured out how we can increase the amount of mitochondria we have at a cellular level. And what that does is it means it's going to slow down the aging process. And I know we're all excited about that. But you can see it, again, all natural ingredients. It'll help you improve your sleep and cellular repair. About 65% of us do not get a good night's sleep. It supports cardiovascular health and brain health. The brain and the heart, they have over 4,000 mitochondria per cell. I mean, we really, really need this energy to stay healthy and to repair ourselves. It improves cellular health, and the cell function can peak at peak performance. So that is our NRF2. The third pathway of aging is NAD. And NAD is a powerhouse, and for 2 reasons. It just does so much. It's going to help you with focus and concentration. It helps with mood. It helps with physical energy, whether it be endurance to do a sport or the recovery for it. It helps with libido. It helps with weight loss. It helps with cholesterol, sleep. It just helps with so many different things. But what's really cool about our product, this is a product you can feel. One of the downsides sometimes of nutritional products, if you're healthy, like Bobby and I, you might not feel them. Well, if you were to reduce your calories to about 600 calories per day, and that's typically for a woman, you may be able to reactivate this NRF2, this NAD pathway, increase the sirtuins at a cellular level. But that's really hard. That's uncomfortable, and most people don't want to do it. There are some supplements out there that will give you a little bit of boost, and I do mean a little. Our NAD, you actually feel 100% of the activation within the first 24 hours, and something like 60% in the first 6 hours. It's huge. This is a product you really feel, and you absolutely love the results you're getting on it. So what's so exciting is our company put the 3 of these together. This is now patent pending, but it's important to use the 3 of them together, because just like that first NRF2 with all the different ingredients used together, we could get better results. These 3 products used together, they get much better results. In fact, 2,100% better results. And who doesn't want to maximize their results and reduce the aging that's going on? Really, really cool that these products, really the summary of benefits is, it improves sleep, it improves vitality, increases energy, better memory and focus. I mean, really, it just really ignites your it factor. It allows you to think clear. It allows you to help lose that weight. I mean, it's just amazing what these products do. Helps with the anti-aging cells. But, we have such an exciting company as well. And I'm going to let my husband tell you just how amazing the company is too. Hold on one second.
Hey everyone, and it's funny, I'm sitting on the side listening to April, and I got to tell you all a secret, okay? I double up on a lot of the stuff, okay? I'm telling you, I figure, well, if I'm twice the size of my wife, then hey, what the heck? I could take twice as much, And then my friend Dr. Deco tell me sometimes, Bobby, it don't work that way, okay? You should follow instructions. But if you heard something that April said that got your attention, do me a favor, leave a comment or something in the chat box below if you would just, something that you liked, or maybe you'd like more information or something, just leave a message down there. But, this amazing company that we have is called LifeVantage. And LifeVantage is a phenomena, okay? First of all, April and I were in this industry for 25 years, okay? We were in this industry dealing with wellness and nutrition, and the majority of the professionals that we worked with were doctors, okay? Physicians, like Dr. Jaya Kasturi, who is hosting this tonight, and we never heard of this company, and we never heard of activation. And they were doing over $100 million in business, okay? When actually almost 200 million in business annually, and we had never heard of them, okay? So don't feel bad if activation is new to you, okay? Don't feel like, how come I never heard of this? We were in the industry working with doctors for 25 years, and we never heard of it, okay? But see, LifeVantage was a biomedical company, a biotech company that was founded in 2003. And traditional business, they had this little yellow pill, and it was in a little blue bottle, and they were trying to sell it on the shelf in vitamin stores. The only problem is that nobody had ever heard of it. Nobody did what it, nobody knew what it did, and it just sat on the shelf until 2005, when ABC Primetime did an investigative report. And as you know, generally when they do an investigative report, it's to try and find a scammer or a lie or misinformation, something like that, okay? That's generally what happens, okay? And what ended up happening is John Kiyunis, who you still see on TV all the time, okay? He was the reporter. He went in, they took his blood, and April told you, the guarantee that comes with the product is the average person loses, their oxidative stress is reduced by 40% in 30 days. Well, John Kiyunis gave his blood. He didn't wait a month. He came back for his report after 2 weeks, and his oxidative stress had gone down 45% in 2 weeks. So this ABC investigative report all of a sudden became all commercial. And it was going like crazy. It's been watched millions and millions of times, okay? It's still out there. And that helped launch things, okay, for the company. And we went on the NASDAQ, okay, we're listed as LFVN, so we're on the NASDAQ. When we joined 3 years ago, they were 8 years old, so it's 11 years old now. But we switched the marketing plan from in-store, off the shelf selling in like a vitamin store to direct sales, where like you're hearing tonight, April and I and Dr. Kasturi, we're telling you a story about a product and a company, and the product needs an explanation. It needs somebody to explain what it did, just like Dr. Kasturi talked about her shoulders and the things it did. It's just one of those kind of products. And the industry is a new industry, okay? It's called nutrigenomics, and it's the science and the study of how vitamins, nutrients, and food interact with our genes and the results they can have on them. And we are the leaders in that industry as I speak, okay? And it's going to be a $17 billion industry by 2023. So this is a rocket ship, okay? Now, our company, LFVN, we did over $232 million in sales last year. It was our best year. And we are projected over the next 3 to 5 years to be the next billion-dollar company in the wellness space. Okay. Erin Brockovich just joined our board, the real Erin Brockovich. She's a worldwide health advocate. She joined our board of directors just about a year and a half ago in 2019. And we had the privilege of ringing the closing bell at the NASDAQ January of last year. So kind of cool, but that's a little bit about LifeVantage. As far as the plans and the field of nutrigenomics, this is a global thing, okay? We are already doing business in 22 different countries. Think about that. 22 different countries we're doing business in, and our business plan is to go into over 100 countries over the next 3 to 5 years. So this isn't just a US, Canada, Mexico thing, okay? This is a global opportunity as far as a company goes. Now, what are the benefits? See, when April and I, when the first company that we were with for 25 years closed unexpectedly 3 years ago, we were looking for a new place, okay, a new home. Where were we going to go next? I mean, that's kind of what we were looking for. And, there were a lot of options out there on what to do next. So these are the kind of benefits that we were looking for. This is what comes with a business and a company like LifeVantage. You get the opportunity to work from home or anywhere you choose, okay? If you have a smartphone, a laptop, an iPad, anything like that, you can be doing business anywhere at any time. It's a social sharing business. It's a word of mouth, share the benefit, tell your friends kind of business, okay? We have a virtual office. We have our own websites, okay? If you were to decide to get involved or whatever, you'd have your own personal website, your own personal app on your phone. There's minimal business assets. You just don't need to invest much. There's no inventory requirements. There's little to no overhead. And the best part is, like I said, you have your own personal online store that, get this, functions in all 22 countries. So anybody that gets involved in business with us, okay, has a virtual store that just by clicking a flag on the website will change to the country that they desire to do business in. It's really amazing. The earning possibilities. Okay, I'll be honest, this is something that I really focused on. I'm a numbers person, okay? So the earning possibilities, there's two things that are very important in a business like this. One is, can you earn money right away? When we think, and again, I'm going to say this a couple times, I can't thank you enough for supporting Dr. Kasturi tonight or supporting whoever invited you, okay, to take a look at this 30-minute overview of what we're talking about now. But I want you to think about this. How many people around the world a year later now, because it's a year with the pandemic, I call it post-pandemic, depending on where you live, we're kind of moving forward in Florida and Texas and some other places, but, a lot of people still have a lot of burden to deal with. But what are the earning possibilities? Well, to me, there's got to be two things. You got to be able to make money right away, so you can pay the bills, put food on the table, pay the rent, okay? And then you want to be able to build a long-term, what I call residual or legacy income, okay? And LifeVantage had that. And you don't have to take my word for this. This is the beauty of being publicly traded. The Securities and Exchange Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, hey, we got to submit our financials every quarter, every 90 days to them. So these are their numbers, okay? Our average Pro 3 in the business, so a Pro 3 is where my mouse is, earns about $626 a month. That's the equivalent of about 50 customers, getting that tri-synergizer that April was talking about anywhere on somebody's team. Okay. It doesn't need to be like you personally, anywhere on the team. Do you know a Pro 5 right here earns about $3,100 a month? That's about 200 of those tri-synergizers anywhere on the team. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Pro 7 right here, 14,000 a month. Okay. That's 150, 200,000 a year. That's a good executive salary. Okay. Pro 8, the reason I'm mentioning Pro 8, even though it's not on the slide, April and I have been here 3 years and we are Pro 8s, okay, in the business. So this is a 3 to 5 year business plan. The plan and the deal is to build a legacy business for you, your family, and your loved ones that, get this, it's willable, it's transferable, and can be left and passed on from generation to generation to generation. Okay. Now I say that because I want you to keep something in mind. I was in New York when 9/11 happened. I live in Florida now. And I always said when 9/11 happened, the best case scenario, if you lived there and you grew up there, is you were one removed. And what I meant by that is if you didn't lose anybody that day that was a friend or relative, you had a friend or relative who did lose someone. You were one removed. Well, what I want you thinking about for the next couple minutes, hey, this may be a product for you, it may not. This may be a kind of business for you, it may not. But we are all sources of referrals. We all know people that maybe things didn't work out so well with this pandemic, health-wise. Maybe things didn't work out so well financially. Maybe that reliable income is now unreliable. Or maybe that reliable income, you still get scared that it could be shut down and you want a backup plan. You want a secondary income. You want something else to do. So is this a good business opportunity? Okay. Well, a very unique product that is patented around the world that can be used in a mass market, from teenagers to geriatrics. Everybody benefits from it. So it's an amazing opportunity. The products are affordable. And the business is affordable, okay? It's backed by reputable science, and it's a consumable, which means it's a subscription product that gets shipped out every month on an auto ship or a subscription. And get this, very easy to cancel, very easy to change. You can do it yourself. You don't even have to talk to another human, okay? But listen to this. You save about 20% being on the subscription, and the shipping is free. It's an amazing business model. Now, can you do this? Look, I like to say this. What can't you do? You have 24/7, support. It's an easy to follow system. It's 1, 2, 3. You launch, you earn while you learn, and then you duplicate or lead others. Okay. We have regular meetings and trainings, all kinds of corporate events, incentives, trips, and private team support. Like, this is our team. We do this for everybody on the team. If you got invited and you're watching, you're on the team if you should decide to be a part. So all of this is included in the business model. So what we're asking for tonight is for your support. We're all coming out of this post-pandemic. We all have much bigger hearts and obviously want to help everybody that we can help. And we're just asking for you to be supportive, okay? So there's a few different ways you can do that. You can activate your health. you know, and become a customer and experience the benefits that April shared and Dr. Kasturi shared. It doesn't cost anything to join. There's no fees. You know, the monthly subscription orders are at a reduced price and the shipping's free. So you could just activate yourself. Maybe you like something about the business, you know, maybe you want to have that second source of income. Maybe you're in between. You know, everybody's in a different situation depending on what they were doing when the pandemic came and where they lived. Okay. So everyone's in a different situation, but you can join us on the business side and share, you know, the unique products with others, share the opportunity with others, help people change their lives and build a really, really cool legacy business. Okay. If you don't want to do that for yourself, please at least consider being a source for referrals. We love referrals, okay? And you know what? You may find it so easy to send referrals, you may decide you want to maybe get in on the action yourself, but whatever you decide, we really appreciate the support, okay? And all you got to do is speak to the person who invited you, you know, here, and they could send you a link or answer any questions or, you know, whatever it might be. So I'm winding down now, and I'm going to go back to all those nice little pictures on the screen in a second. I love looking at that. That's makes my day. Okay. But from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of myself and my wife, April, and all the folks that invited you to take a look at this, we want to thank you for your time. It's precious, and your support. Okay. We really appreciate it. So if you're ready, you know, to get some results with the products, that's great. If you're ready to join us in our next venture, okay, that's great. If you have questions, drop a note in the chat, okay? Just say, I have some questions, or Bob, I'd like to talk to you. April, I'd like to talk to you. Dr. Kasturi, whoever it is that sent you here, but that's great too, okay? But most important, I'm gonna go back to the other screen and I'm gonna ask Dr. Kasturi to just say a few words, and then we all are gonna give each other a virtual hug. How about that, okay? So let me stop the share, okay? Go back to the little pictures. There we are, okay, we're back. And Dr. Kasturi, we are right on target with our time. Would you take a moment and thank your friends and relatives?
I thank everyone who made you really sacrificed half an hour to come and look at the business opportunity as well as the products. I am impressed by the products, and I would like to share it with everybody. Whatever it has offered me, I want you to enjoy that. At my age, if I can be, my cells can be young, you all can achieve the same thing. So wish you all the best and thank you so much.
Jaya, we are very appreciative. Like, you know, you're my second mama. You've always been my second mama. You're my first mama now because I lost my mama. So it's like you're number one now. But we've had the good fortune of knowing Dr. Kasturi for over 20 years now and traveled the world with her, actually, including India, you know, her home country. So, you know, you kind of become family members in this business when you get in the business together. But all I ask is if you heard something tonight you liked, something that raised your curiosity, please get with the person that told you about it and just say, hey, you know, I heard some things I like. I'm interested in some stuff. They can send you a link to their website. They can send you a link to order product. They can send you some additional videos. Or if you want to talk to us personally, you know, just make arrangements through whoever got you here. And we are happy to do that. So how about a virtual hug, everybody? Okay, do the hug. Everyone, we're going to say goodnight here. Thank you. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night.